The way Maria talked about him, you'd think he was some kind of demigod sculpted from marble. "Oh, Aaron is such a great spotter," she'd sigh. Her eyes glazed over like she was remembering a lover's touch. "He's so knowledgeable about nutrition. He makes the best protein shakes, and he's always pushing me to do better." It was Aaron this and Aaron that. Every dinner conversation, every car ride. Aaron was the sun, moon, and stars, and I was just a dull, orbiting planet in her universe. I wasn't stupid. I knew deep down that this wasn't just about protein shakes in proper form. I'd met Aaron once. A quick handshake and a forced smile at a gym open house. He was the type, tall, with bulging biceps, a too-perfect smile, and that infuriating confidence that seemed to ooze from his pores. Maria, though, she practically vibrated with excitement being near him, her hand lingering on his arm a fraction too long for a simple greeting. I remember that cold twist of betrayal even before I knew for sure. The gym had become Maria's second home. She'd go every morning before work, sometimes even sneaking away in the evenings after dinner, promising to only be an hour. She'd come back flushed, breathless. Not from exertion, but from something else. The stolen glances, the whispered phone calls she'd end abruptly when I entered the room, the sudden change in her behavior. It was all adding up. I wasn't a fool, but I needed proof. I needed to see it for myself. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. It felt dirty, like I was invading her privacy, but the alternative, being constantly tormented by doubt, was much worse. He was expensive but worth every penny. He set up discreet surveillance targeting the gym. Took a week, but the video he delivered was damning. There it was, in black and white, or rather, in grainy night vision. Maria and Aaron, not lifting weights but kissing in a dark corner of the locker room. It was a clumsy, desperate embrace. A scene ripped from a bad romance novel. It was everything I feared, and yet it still hit me like a physical blow. I felt numb. The anger didn't come immediately. It was a cold, hard knot of hurt that settled in the pit of my stomach. For a while, I didn't do anything. I walked around like a ghost in my own life, going through the motions, trying to reconcile the woman I thought I knew with the woman on that video. I thought about confronting her, screaming, but something stopped me. I wanted to see her face when she realized she wasn't as clever as she thought. Then I decided, no yelling, no pleading. This wasn't about me anymore. Not really. It was about shattering her perfect little world. I wasn't just going to confront her. I was going to dismantle her facade, piece by piece. The next morning, as usual, Maria was up before the sun, bouncing with barely contained excitement about her workout. I played it cool, even offered her a quick kiss on the cheek. "Have a good one, babe," I said, the irony thick in the air. She grinned, the picture of innocent deceit, and then she was gone. I didn't go to work. Instead, I spent the morning meticulously organizing the video, cutting out the irrelevant bits, leaving just the raw, sickening truth. I made a copy on a thumb drive, a tiny dagger of evidence, a tangible representation of her betrayal. Around lunchtime, I drove to the gym, a place that had become synonymous with her infidelity. The same bright, generic music throbbed through the air. The aroma of sweat and disinfectant filled my nostrils. It was like entering a scene from a nightmare I'd seen 1,000 times. Maria was on the treadmill, her face flushed and happy, and right beside her, Aaron was encouraging her, his hand resting far too casually on her back. I walked toward them. "Hey, babe," I said, trying to sound as normal as possible, as if I wasn't carrying an atom bomb in my pocket. Maria jumped, her eyes wide with surprise. "What are you doing here?" "Oh, just thought I'd come see what all the fuss was about," I replied, my voice dangerously calm. "I wanted to finally meet your super-duper gym buddy." I locked eyes with Aaron, a ghost of a smile on my lips. His own smile faltered a little. He clearly sensed something was amiss. "Aaron, this is my husband, Tim," Maria said, her voice a little shaky. "Nice to meet you, Tim," Aaron said, extending a hand. I took it, the grip firm but not aggressive. "The pleasure's all mine, Aaron," I said. "In fact, I thought I'd bring you a little something." I pulled out the thumb drive and walked to the large monitor on the wall near the treadmills. I plugged it in, and with a few clicks, the video began playing, the grainy footage of Maria and Aaron's tryst filling the screen. The music seemed to fade into the background. The treadmills went silent. The weightlifters paused, their heavy iron clanking against the floor, everyone's eyes glued to the screen. Maria gasped, her face drained of all color. Aaron's face turned a ghastly shade of red. "Surprise?" I said, my voice low and menacing. The satisfaction I was feeling dark and intoxicating. "Guess you two aren't quite as discreet as you thought." Maria opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Aaron, however, found his voice. "This is a lie. You've edited this." "Oh, I wouldn't insult your acting skills, Aaron. Your performance is quite realistic." "Very convincing," I replied, my voice laced with a sarcasm that cut like a knife. People were whispering, pointing. Maria was a statue of shock, her eyes wide and full of tears. I didn't care. My focus was on Aaron. "So, Aaron, the expert trainer, the nutritional guru, the lover," I said, stepping closer, my voice dropping to a menacing whisper. "You thought you could just waltz into my life and take what's mine? You thought you could hide in the shadows and play house with my wife?" He tried to look tough, but I saw the fear flickering behind his eyes. "She's not your property." "No, she's not." I agreed, a dark laugh escaping my lips. "She's not my problem anymore either. But you are. And you, my friend, are about to regret the day you ever met Maria." And that's when I moved. I didn't hesitate. I didn't let the anger simmer. It exploded. I grabbed him by the neck and yanked him forward, his face inches from mine. "Let me make this very clear to you. You messed with the wrong man." I headbutt him hard, the force of it sending him stumbling backward. He tried to regain his footing, but I was on him, a whirlwind of pent-up rage. I landed a right hook to his jaw, and he crashed to the ground, the sickening sound of bone on bone echoing through the silent gym. I kicked him in the ribs, not caring about the looks I was getting, not caring about anything other than making him pay. He tried to curl into a fetal position, but I wouldn't let him. Every blow was precise, every punch fueled by the betrayal I'd endured. People were screaming now, pulling at me, trying to get me to stop, but I was lost in the red haze. This wasn't about Maria anymore. It was about him, about the arrogance in his eyes, about the way he thought he could get away with it. Finally, after what felt like an eternity but was probably only a few minutes, I was pulled off him. He lay on the floor, a mess of blood and sweat, whimpering in pain. I stood there, chest heaving, the adrenaline coursing through my veins. I looked over at Maria, her face streaked with tears, the realization of what she had lost crashing down around her. The shame was palpable. Good. She deserved it. I turned and walked away, leaving them both in the wreckage of their own making. I didn't look back. I didn't care about Maria anymore. My revenge was complete. It was raw, it was brutal, and it was exactly what I needed. My marriage might be over, but my sense of justice, at least for now, was satisfied. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyers, paperwork, and the final quiet dismantling of our life together. Maria tried to reach out, tried to apologize, but her words were meaningless. I didn't want to hear them. The video had shown me all I needed to know. She was no longer the woman I thought I knew, and honestly, I didn't care who she became. I'd moved out, found a new apartment, and started the long and painful process of rebuilding my life. It wasn't easy, but every day got a little better. I finally started to breathe again. The ghost of Maria and Aaron's betrayal still haunted me, but it was fading, growing quieter, replaced by a quiet sense of closure. I had reclaimed myself, and in the end, that was the only revenge that truly mattered. So guys, if you all liked today's story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.